Prototype This is solving the problem of oversleeping. The engineers are building a multifunctional sleeping pod designed to wake, shower, groom, feed, and give you all your morning info in a matter of minutes. With an unveiling in San Francisco's Union Square in less than 2 weeks. Joe and Zaz did research into sleep technology at MetroNaps, and they've started working on the pod's electronics. Terry's taking care of the pod's exterior. And Dr. Mike's water-soluble pajama idea turned into a gooey mess. So now, halfway through week 1 of a 2-week build, Mike has built a pulley system to remove Zaz's pajamas and is ready to test it out.
Okay.
I feel like a preppy.
Really brings out your eyes.
With Zaz and some classic PJs, Mike proceeds to, very carefully, cut them off of him.
Let me know if I get anything important. The next step now is to see if we can rip the pajamas off a person. All right, Zaz. We got a test rig set up here.
Looks more like a lynching setup.
Mike connects Zaz to the pulley system to see if the pajamas will rip away as designed.
3, 2, 1.
Not a thing of beauty, but those pajamas are off.
That kind of worked.
They did work.
While Mike's PJ removing prototype is far from perfect. Given the alternative, Zaz couldn't be happier with Mike's design.
I can't really express how bad the wash-away clothes were and how unsuitable they were for this project. So really anything is better than that, and these are definitely better.
Meanwhile, downstairs, Terry continues working on the pod itself.
Zaz will love this. He's never going to get out.
The pod has 2 main sections.
Oh, yeah.
An upper half where Zaz will sleep, be showered and fed, and receive information from the internet. The bottom half will house the heating, cooling, plumbing, electronics, and pneumatic cylinders to raise Zaz up into showering and shaving position. And it all has to fit into a space only a few inches wider, taller, and deeper than Zaz himself. And that's a huge undertaking. The next tough job is the crucial component farmed out to a bigger machine shop in San Francisco, whose owner, Kevin Binkert, is a valuable resource for the Prototype This team. Kevin's come up with plans for the automated shower function. His design calls for a metal frame that fits inside the front of the pod. The frame will house tubes that will spray water, then soap suds, and then hot air. The frame will move up and down, rinsing, soaping, and drying the body until fully clean. To make the frame, Kevin cuts pieces using a massive $250,000 water jet.
There it is. This is the shower ring descending as it will when it turns into the Zaz wash. It's basically driven by these 2 screws. Screws turn, connected by timing belts. Anytime that motor spins 1 screw, this ring is going to move up and down and wash, rinse, and dry.
The next morning, back on the island, with Terry's woodwork complete, a turf war has begun.
Mike wants to put his stuff in first so he gets the space. And just going to push everyone else out of the way.
Can I try it out?
This is just a prototype to prove a concept. They've cut corners and space is tight. So standing in for a proper mattress is a length of mattress foam.
This is actually really comfortable.
What will reside in the upper pod section are the rail systems, the cleaning systems that Kevin's actually going to be working on, the hygiene tray, spray head units, any cleaning type of setup, the sheets that Mike's working on as well.
And voila!
And voila! We have a brand new Zaz!
But there's still lots of work to do. Over the next few days, Terry welds the steel frame. And by the beginning of the second week, he's installed the large pneumatic cylinders.
They're beautiful. They're huge.
Which will lift the heavy pod into standing position, as it's much easier to shower, shave, and get dressed when you're standing up.
Perfect, I tell you.
Nearby, Mike's fine-tuning his automated pajama removal system.
One of the major challenges on this build was to come up with a way to rip Zaz's pajamas off, get them out of the way, protect the mattress from the water. And so we came up with a system where I have these rollers, and they roll the sheets up out of the way, and at the same time they roll plastic, blocking the mattress from the water. These are some windshield wiper motors. They have a lot of torque, which are just suited perfectly for this.
The motors are small but powerful.
It's a torquey motor.
So,
Ow!
Yeah, it hurts, don't it?
If the motor can pull this 60-pound compressor, it should have no problem pulling off a pair of pajamas.
This is a pretty heavy air compressor. I mean, it takes a bit of force to drag it. So I've hooked it up here to the rope. This rope runs back to our dowel. So here we go. It's actually lifting the air compressor off the ground. If this doesn't pull Zaz's pajamas off, it'll end up probably pulling him out the top of the pod or something.
With the rollers working, Mike runs upstairs to sew up the fabric that he'll use for the sheets.
All right, so we got the fabric here for Zaz's sheets.
Soon, they're mounted up and ready to roll.
We turn the system on, the Velcro comes up. At this point, it'll be grabbing his pajamas, ripping the pajamas off of Zaz. Pajamas are now off of Zaz, and now we want to get ready for the shower. So now we replace the system with the shower curtain. Here comes the shower curtain. And then you're ready to bathe. I think it's ready for the real test here. Get Zaz in some pajamas and see if this will actually rip them off.
So Mike puts the rollers on a test rig, and Zaz is back in his pajamas.
All right, are you guys ready for the test? So what we have is we have the sheet that he's sleeping on, and then it's going to roll up, and there's going to be a couple strips of Velcro that are going to grab the Velcro on the back, and hopefully it'll pull off his pajamas.
But given the things Mike's put him through so far, Zaz isn't at all confident.
It's going to be a disaster.
Full speed ahead.
Full speed.
There we go.